Hello, welcome back to Big Bear Automations. We are now on day 13 of our Learn n8n in a Year series. If you don't know what this is, please go back to day one. I'll put a link on the screen. We're basically stripping back all of my knowledge and we're starting again and we're going to build together and we're going to get to a point where we've got a nice workflow suite and our knowledge has been upgraded a little to understand more about what's going on in the background. So today we are talking all about if statements. So let's head over to our n8n. Think of an if node as a traffic controller of your workflows. It looks at your data and says, if this condition is true, go this way. If it is false, then go that way. It is that simple. However, very powerful. It's probably one of my most used nodes in most of my workflows. So by the end of this video, you're going to understand how to create smart workflows that adapt based on your data. And I'll show you some advanced techniques like nesting if nodes for complex decision trees, which can get a little bit messy, but worth it. So let's understand what conditional logic actually means in everyday life. So an if statement is constantly without. If statements are constantly, we're constantly making those decisions and we don't even realize it. So example, if it's raining, I'm going to take an umbrella. If I'm hungry, I'm going to eat something. If your phone battery is low, you charge it or you let it go out of battery and then you cry because you don't know what to do with your life. And in an automation, it's exactly the same, right? The if node examines data and creates different paths based on the conditions you set. This is incredibly powerful and something that you need to wrap your head around because it will be used quite a lot in all of your workflows. So what are we going to do today? We're going to set up a set node that acts like someone has sent us data. So we've created this node, set node, which we did yesterday. So go back to day 12, I think. And we've just added data in, which is going to be a replication of a webhook that is sending us the user's name, email, plan, and the country that they live in. And we're going to go through this step by step to see how we can get to the data, manipulate the data, and then do if statements on that data to take us down different paths. So what I've done is I've cleaned up the data. So just passed the JSON name in. For the email domain, I've just removed the email. Just got the domain from the end of the email with the split functionality. Again, we did expressions. Expressions was day 13. Set node was day 12. I apologize. Go back and have a look. Sorry. Day 13, where we learned what this all means. So the idea is that I'm going to have an if statement that checks to make sure that the user that has signed up is from Gmail, and if it's not, I don't want to know anything about you. Is the plan. So let's go and have a look at what an if node looks like. This was me just messing around. So when you first come in, it will look like, not like this. So let's try again. It will look like this. Let's put a brand new one in. It will look like this. You got your inputs, which we're used to now on the left hand side, and your outputs, which we're used to now on the right hand side. Same concept. In the middle, we've got the parameters and settings, as every node does, and we have conditions. And inside these conditions, we have value 1 and value 2. We have the operation. So this is what we're trying to check. So if we go through these one by one, so we have our different data types, which we went through when we did the set node again, so go and take a look at that. But we've got string, whether the string exists, whether it doesn't exist, whether it's empty, whether it's not empty, is it equal to, is it not equal to, does it contain a word, does it not contain a word, does it start with this, does it not start with this, does it end with this, does it not end with this, does it match a regex? Now if you don't know what regex is, I go and speak to ChatGPT because that's all I do, but it's basically just a formula of what it's just a formula to match against your text to see whether it's true or false and if it passes against it. So things like, does it contain a percentage or not, stuff like that. But go to ChatGPT, we can discuss it if really needed, add to the comments, and we'll do a regex part if we need it. And does it not match? Number exists, does not exist, is empty, is not empty, is equal to, is not equal to, is greater than, is less than, is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to. Date and time exists, does not exist, is empty, is not empty. It's starting to get into a pattern, right? Is equal to, is not equal to, is after, is before, is after or equal to, or is before or equal to. So these are just date specific ones. These ones are more like, is it there? Boolean, does it exist, does it not exist, is it empty, is it not empty, is it true, is it false, is it equal to, is it not equal to. Very good one. Array, same again, exists, contains, does not contain. Length, so is it equal to 1, is it equal to 3, how many things are in there, is it not equal to that, is it greater than, less than. Again, object, exist, does not exist, is empty, is not empty. So these are all the conditions that we're checking against for our values. So for example, does test, which is a string, is equal to test, which is a string. Gone down the true path to true branch, and skipped out the false branch. So is test equal to test1? No. So it's gone down the false branch and showed you the data going down that branch, which is cool. So we're going to build out, we want to check to see whether this, which is the email domain, again, we've done expressions, we've had a look at what this data means, and we're passing it in. And we want to make sure that it's equal to gmail.com. True. So we now know that this user has come from Gmail, and we want to go down our true branch. Just so you can see what that looks like. When you put an if node in, you have the true and the false branch. You can then go down the different paths and do whatever you need to do down those branches, like so. You can have another one here if you wanted to. Obviously these are all sets and your workflow can be whatever you want it to be, but you get the gist, right? You can go down different branches. Okay, let's go and spend some more time playing around with if. So that works fine. And if this was a Yahoo email, then that would obviously fail, go down the false branch. So what about if we want to do a little bit more? So let's say we want to do a bit more advanced filtering. So we want to make sure that it's the users from Gmail, and so we've got and or. So and is both things need to be true to go down the truth branch, or is one of either of these things needs to be true to go down the true branch or the false branch if it doesn't. So what we'll see is that we want to check to make sure they're from Gmail and their plan is premium. True. Right, so they've both passed. Now, if we set this to or and said our business logic is we want the premium plan, but we spelt it wrong, it would still go down the truth branch because the top one is correct. Whereas if we split that back to and, it would go down the false branch because it's not equal to premium. Cool. So what we're doing there is we're just adding more logic, adding more logic, adding more logic. We can do that as many times as we want, and make sure that we're going down the right business routes and business rules. So another way we can do this is we can use JavaScript. So if we didn't want to do all that business rule stuff, which I think is more user friendly, but I'm going to show you this way anyway, is we're going to make sure that this includes Gmail, and nope, and there is an and symbol around here somewhere. There. And the plan is equal to premium. So that's exactly the same as what we've just built, but this is using the JavaScript. And then when we go back, we want to change the type to Boolean, and we want to check to see if it's true. So is that JavaScript that we've just made true? Yes, it is. And if we change that to premium, is it true? No, it's false. So we can do it that way as well. Now, I quite like the add condition because it's just easier and more user friendly. The JavaScript way is if you're probably going down a more complex route, you could do it down there. But let's have a look at more practical examples of how we can use this, right? So let's set up some more data. So say that these also had an order, and that order was 100. So we test that order 100. Come back here. So we want to make sure that they're sorry, no, we don't want exist, we want equal to. So we want to make sure that their plan is premium, so the user is a premium user, and we want to make sure that their order number or the amount that they've ordered, which is 100 items, is greater than 99. So we know that these users are premium users that have ordered more than 99 items, and we want to take them down a path that's like, you're a really good customer, thank you for buying 99 things at once, over 99 things at once, you're a legend. Again, another example would be support tickets. So what if you work for a development team and you get a support ticket through, and that has priority in it, right? So the priority is high. Test that. There you go. Go to the if statement. Get rid of these. So if priority is high, is equal to high. Go down the true path branch and notify team leads. And if it's not, then notify the rest of the team or add it to a backlog of support tickets that can be picked up at a later date. You're starting to get the gist now, right? So there's a lot of things we can do with this in terms of data and navigating the user, the workflow to the right places. And there's loads of stuff we can go. We can go for each one of these, but if there's anything particular that you'd like to know, just comment and we'll go through it. But you're starting to get a feel for what needs to be done. And we can go to the more advanced stuff now, which is the nested if nodes. So this is building out more complex logic. So for example, the JSON priority is high, and it goes down the true path, right? But what if we then had more business logic that needed to be routed from there? So, for example, and the email was this. If we test this workflow, you'll see it going down the different paths. And again, we can just nest another one into that if we needed to. And then you could capture user plan is equal to premium. Like so. And you can just see it bouncing along, right? And then you can capture the other flows. So if it's not, if it falls out here, actually it should go to this person. If it fills out this business rule, it should go to this person. And it's, you can just start getting more truths, more falses, and more workflow branches that allow you to capture all the business rules that are needed. Again, it can get messy, but it's very, very powerful and something that you should be wrapping your head around. And hopefully this video is helping you to do that. So this is more like a decision tree making, and each path leading to a specific targeted action, which helps. So some quick pro tips before we wrap up, and that is test every step, test the feature, make sure you verify your conditions, work with different data before building the full workflow. Keep conditions simple and readable. Test edge cases, so what if a field isn't there, what happens? Again, we did the string manipulation stuff, we've done the expression stuff, so we're going to have a look at how we can handle that. Use descriptive names for your paths, so you know, instead of just having if, which is probably not a good example, change that right to be like check priority rule. So we can at least start seeing what it all means. Consider default and fallback paths for unexpected data. So if it was to fail, what happens? And then document complex logic with your notes. So what that would look like is, where's my notes? Here. Add a note and be like, I'm a note. Priority check-in. Business rule high goes true and everything else goes false. This has been confirmed by client manager. And it just means that you're understanding a bit more what's happening. You can capture what's going on. Again, you could just copy this and do another one there for that one and just check your business rules each time you go. Just keeps it easier for you to maintain as well when you come back to it. So that's your if node, and hopefully you would have mastered it by the time you got to the end of this video. You can play around with it. You can add loads of data in and see what you can do with it. Do the array stuff, do the existing, do all of the different types of conditions so that you get really good at your ifs, because you will be using them. And I'm going to give you a little challenge, and that's build a workflow that's using nested if nodes, and share a screenshot or just add to the comments and what your decision tree was, the actions inside of it. I wonder if anyone can actually do a decision tree with every check possible in an if node. I'm going to leave that to you guys. If you can do that, that'd be awesome. Send a video, send me a loom or something on the email, and I'll add it to the videos or do a short about it, because that would be cool. Again, if this has opened your eyes up to the conditional logic that you can do, then hit that like button, please. Subscribe, get involved, comment. It's all about creating a community. Cheers, guys. Thank you.